Wait, let me fix up my camera. Hold on. Come on, inch lower. That's good enough. Yeah. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm back. Hold on. It's really fucking dark. I just realized my light is not on. There we go. Yo, what's up, guys? I am back to streaming again. I know I just finished streaming like a couple hours ago, but then someone commented in one of my videos asking me to react to to a Sonic Infection AU, the Metal Apocalypse. Apparently, yeah. He commented in one of my TikTok videos, and yeah, basically he told me it was peak and I should watch it. And apparently, Orcio for I can't ever pronounce this guy's name. Orcio Course made a video about it, and this guy is like one of my go-to people to go to when it comes to AUs, specifically infection AUs, because he's got just so many. Hold on, look at this. Shout out to Orcio Course, by the way. Look at this. Boom. So freaking. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, I forgot y'all can't see it. Hold on. Let me share my screen right here. Come on. Share screen. Okay, y'all can see that now. All right, y'all can see this. Look at this. So his entire channels are about infection AUs or just AUs in general. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to this guy. I found out this video from
One more thing to point out is that
I wasn't really sure how I was going to be making a video about
a bunch of you
this
told me that the
since
troll infection AU created by chair noises was really creepy, and I didn't believe you at first because I couldn't imagine a cute cartoon about singing and dancing trolls was going to be scary at all. But I should have listened because this AU is definitely one of the creepier and just more disturbing ones that I've read so far. And with that being said, this AU doesn't waste any time getting started. The first thing that we see is that Branch and Creek have gone missing, and many of the trolls have already fallen victim to some type of.
What the fuck? It was paused. How the fuck was it playing? Huh? Huh? Yo, I think my shit's haunted. Yeah, Force Folks is one of those people that just makes a bunch of infection AUs videos, and he just so happened to have made one of these for this metal apocalypse thing. Oh look, there I am.
A bunch of you told me.
So we're gonna be watching it. Holy shit! What the fuck happened to Shinobu? That looks worse than fuck. How frick? What was his name again? Oh shit! A Gaia infection. Where is it? Where's come on. I was literally watching it. Where is it? Is it up top? Up below? Where is it? Hold on. What the? Is this it? I think this is it. Oh wait, no, this isn't it. The one that that I saw was like 30 fucking minutes long, right? Infested, no. There it is.
That the boots that they're wearing here are not just for style, but rather a few of you have been telling me to check out the Metal Apocalypse.
There you go. Yeah, this is what we're gonna be watching today. I heard it was peak. I'm not sure though, so well, I'm gonna be the judge of that though. Hold on, I gotta get my own live stream into my own into my phone because it's the only way I can actually see the comments in the video. That guy talks. You know, hilariously, I'm probably gonna be the only viewer in this video. I mean, who's genuinely watching me, right? Like, seriously, who's watching me? Me. I commented in my own video. That's sad. Hold on. Turn off the volume right there. And yeah. Is my mic on? Is that mic on? All right. Let's start the video. Start the
There's a comic that's being dubbed over here on YouTube by Porcelain Doll Studio. And I have to say that this AU overall is amazing so far. From what I've read right now, it seems to take place in a alternate universe where Sonic and the gang are not able to stop the metal virus and it ends up taking over the planet. And as a quick recap, the metal virus is a part of the official Sonic canon.
Was it ever actually stopped? I didn't actually. I haven't read that comic yet, so I don't actually. I know the metal virus. I know the metal virus, but I don't know whether it was actually stopped. So I would like someone to spoil me on that.
And it deals with an incident where Eggman used nanobots to create a virus that turned any living thing into metal. And it basically took Sonic's whole team plus Eggman to defeat the virus once it got out of control. Now, over in the
So
first
they
chapter of the
did
comic,
actually stop it. I always thought that shit was like uh a spin-off series in like another universe where Sonic genuinely loses everyone. I thought that would be the case, but I guess not. Everyone actually
we
survives.
see Amy Rose bring some food to Tails, who seems to be sitting in
Man,
his lab.
why is this
First
version of
chapter of the comic,
Rose
we see Amy Rose bring some
hotter
food to
than
Tails,
usual?
who seems to be sitting in
I guess it's because she looks rugged,
his
right?
lab looking over
We
a
all like our
tracker.
rugged
And
girls.
based on the fact that he still has a full bowl of food here, we can assume that he hasn't been eating. And then we hear this outburst that gives us some insight into why.
Let me watch the tracker. Take a break. No! He's my brother. Only I can.
It seems like the person that Tails is trying to track right now is likely Sonic.
Yeah.
And we can assume that he's infected, especially since if this is based on the lore of the official metal virus,
He was
Sonic was
actually
infected fairly early on, and only his extreme speed and stamina kept the virus from
I
spreading.
think he was one of the first infected. Is it like top 10 first infected?
But of course, that couldn't last forever because even Sonic has to rest. We also get confirmation at the end of the episode.
This is like how a speedster outruns death, you know? They can't actually outrun it. They're the unless you're someone called um oh crap, I can't remember his name. The fastest speedster. Not Barry Allen. It's a fast guy.
That Sonic is indeed infected.
I can't remember his
We
name.
need you. He needs you.
Damn.
Now, first thing that I want to note, the voice acting here is fire. It is so well done. Second thing I want to note is that
hold on,
the
y'all
voice
see
acting
that?
here
Is that Sonic? Holy shit. That's Sonic. That's definitely Sonic after he got infected. That's not how they be looking. I've seen tidbits of the actual infection, all right? The actual comic book. But this is not how they looked.
here is fire. It is
Has the
so well
virus
done.
evolved?
Second thing I want to note is that even though Sonic seems to be infected, I find it interesting that he's still able to actually speak, which is something that usually is lost once people are infected with the metal virus. So I'm hopeful that Sonic may still have his mind, or at least to some degree, and maybe that means that they can still save him. Now, over on Instagram, we get to see the character's actual stat sheets. And starting with Tails, we can see that he is still clean of the infection, but his sanity is down really far.
After losing Sonic, that's just like a natural progression. They were bros, you know. Like they were. I'm not gonna say they're gay for each other, but they were definitely close. After losing him, he's definitely gonna lose some sanity points.
A lot of that is due to the
I mean, then again, that probably goes for literally all of Sonic's friends,
stress of trying to
but
find
specifically for Tails,
Sonic
definitely.
and the lack of sleep. But one good thing that I
Especially.
spotted here is that Eggman is still alive and helping Tails. And honestly, with the two of them on the same team, I'm very confident that they're going to be able to find a cure, even though Eggman is kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're both the smartest beings in the verse, literally. If they can't find a cure for this thing, all hope is lost. By the way, Eggman is an asshole for actually making this thing to begin with.
And reckless. Next, we get to see Amy's stat sheet, and she is also cleaner than
Her sanity is actually pretty high, surprisingly, considering she lost Sonic.
infection and is the co-leader of this group right
Oh, no wonder she's hotter than usual. Ties up her hair for convenience. I don't know why that's hot to me.
now, alongside with Knuckles. And all of her stats are actually still pretty good, which I was kind of surprised to see because Amy is usually one of the first people to get infected in these Sonic infection they use. One more thing to point out is that the boots that they're wearing here are not just for style, but rather they allow these guys to be able to walk on the metal surfaces without contracting the virus. After that, we get to take a
Oh,
look at
those
Sonic,
are
and
I guess those are like hazmat suits, you know.
my man looks absolutely
Holy shit! Wait, hold on.
contracting the virus.
Wait, hold
After
on.
that,
That's Sonic. Stage 3. There were stages to the infection. Look at this shit. Yo, the pupils look realistic. Holy shit. That's it. There are holes through his body. I don't know how they're going to be able to cure him. There are holes through his body. This man has no more organs. Holy shit. Feet is smooth due to friction from running. Deterioration seems to slow down. Hole question mark. Holes changed location. Never stopped smiling. That's terrifying. That's terrifying, right? Status infected. Despite being slower than before, he's still faster than almost everyone. That's terrifying. Like forget about the fact that he's Sonic. Imagine the fact that an infected is faster than you. That's really your only hope than uh, surviving a zombie apocalypse. The fact that you can run faster than these guys. Holy shit, staring into his eyes is terrifying. But the fact that Sonic, well, obviously it's Sonic, every variant of Sonic is fast, but an infected Sonic is just terrifying to think about. The biggest problem besides Vector Orchard's our forces are gone by him. He's fine. Okay, I'm assuming that he's fine was written by Tails, right? I'm assuming that these were written by Tails because he's fine would be something that Tails would be thinking of right now to cope for the abysmal situation they're in.
we get to take a look at Sonic, and my man looks absolutely monstrous. His health and
His eyes are
sanity are pretty much gone,
terrifying
and he
though.
keeps repeating the name Tails over and over again. And at first, I was hopeful that maybe this meant that he kept some of his mind, but it looks like that's not the case. To make matters worse, it looks like his body is starting to destabilize and hollow out, meaning that Tails and the crew will have to save him soon, or his body will be completely broken down, or AKA, he'll be knocking on heaven's door. Another thing that makes me really sad about Sonic's situation is that when you look at this panel here, it seems that he ran away from the group so that he will be far enough away to where his infected body couldn't harm them. So this may make it even harder for the team to actually find him and be able to cure him. The next sheet reveals the 5 stages of the infection, and unfortunately, the victim here is Tangle. We see at
This is
stage
stage
0, she came into contact with the
Sonic
metal,
was
getting
stage
a
3.
bunch of it on her tail. And once the virus is on the person, it only takes about 5 to 10 minutes to fully spread.
Oh,
And if the contaminated person
holy
touches
shit.
anyone else, they will also infect them. At stage 1, the infected person no longer knows who they are and will lash out at anyone they see. The only good news is that once they're infected, they actually are really slow, so it's easy to avoid them. Stage
That's the terrifying part about the metal virus. They don't need to bite you. They don't need to spit some blood on you. If they merely touch you, skin to skin contact, you're doomed, right? It's like it literally is like a liquid. That just permeates their entire body. If they touch you, it's over. That's
Phase
terrifying.
2 is where the real trouble begins because this is where the body of the victim starts to get longer and also develops these spikes and barbs. The aggression and physical strength of the infected person also goes way up, although it still seems like they may be slow at this point. Stage 3 is where the infected person starts to no longer resemble themselves and their bodies
Ooh,
begin to break down. But
that's
even though
Sonic.
they look frail and broken at this point, they're actually extremely strong in this stage and can one tap weaker characters. At stage 4, we see that the character starts to corrode or AKA melt away, and at this point, they can no longer be cured. And while they are even slower than before at this stage, they are even more powerful. So running is the only
Okay,
viable
so
option.
Sonic is
I
one
also
stage
want to
away
point
from
out the
being
note here that
incurable.
says this isn't your friend anymore. And I feel terrible for Whisper because we know just how deeply she cares about Tangle. In the original
Damn.
Metavirus comic, when Whisper found out that Eggman was responsible for the
She
virus,
was
she
yeah, I saw this part too. She was about to slime Eggman out right then and there. Like she was ready to put a hole through this man's skull.
almost sniped his head off, with Cream being the only reason that she didn't.
Yeah, damn.
And finally, we have
Damn.
stage 5, and this
There's
is where
another stage?
the infected creature seems to fuse with its surrounding, very similar to The Last of Us 2 when
Oh,
infected would
that's
fuse into the
disgusting.
walls. And if that's where it ended, that wouldn't be too bad. But at
Releases
this stage, the
lethally
infected also let
toxic
out toxic
gas.
gas, and we can assume that it either takes people out or infects them with the virus as well.
Holy.
Now that we understand the infected stages, I
Wait, yo. Shadow is infected. Wait, hold on. Shadow is infected too. They've got Sonic and Shadow.
want to go ahead and talk about Shadow because even though he is clearly infected, sitting
Oh.
at stage 1, he hasn't gone past that stage, even
Oh.
though he's been infected for about half a year. The other thing that I
Oh.
found interesting is that he's been avoiding all the other infected characters, especially Sonic, almost as if he still has the ability to think in subcapacity. I believe that Shadow may have some resistance to the virus because he's supposed to be immune to all viruses and diseases. But since
Oh.
this is like a man made virus using nanobots, his body isn't able to resist it fully. Now, back over in the
But he
comic,
is still mentally resisting it, which is good enough.
we see that Amy has been feeling that Knuckles has been hiding something for her. So she decided to ask around and see what she can find. But when she speaks to Rouge and Whisper, they're not really much help. And of course, Eggman wasn't going to cooperate at all.
Eggman lost some weight.
She also tries to speak with Silver, but he's super stressed out trying to keep everyone safe. So Amy has to go to her trump card, which is Espio, and he decides to do some spying on her behalf. He basically follows Knuckles and Whisper out into the woods, and we get to see this scene.
I hope it's
Oh,
nothing.
okay, what's happening?
I'm just delusional.
Charmy?
And based on that scene, it seems like Knuckles and Whisper just incinerated Charmy. And while we haven't seen their stat sheet yet, I can assume they ended up getting infected. After that, we get to see Knuckles' stat sheet, and we see
Damn.
that while he is unaffected, his sanity
That's
is fairly
brutal.
low. We also see that he's responsible for doing these excursions, which we can assume just means that he leads the team when they go out to search for or take out infected.
So I guess they're the executioners. When the person is too far gone, Knuckles is the one they send to get rid of them. You know, when they've hit was it again stage 4 and stage 5, that's when Knuckles pull is brought out to take them out. Unfortunately, by that point, the infected probably was gotten so strong that they're a genuine threat that at that point. Oh, my cats are sleeping.
And more importantly, we see that half of these missions are off the books, which likely explains why SBO was so
Damn.
surprised to see Charmy get torched. This also explains why Knuckles
Who's leading
says,
them
"I
though?
did what I had to do." While I am happy to
Was
see
it
Knuckles
just
playing, it
personal
also
orders?
which likely
Also, wait,
explains
hold
the
on, hold on,
fact that
hold
we
on.
can assume just
This is so tough. Like this design for Knuckles is insane. Now he's definitely lost an arm and a leg, literally. But this is so fucking cool. Y'all cannot tell me this is not one of the top 10 best designs for Knuckles. Like in canon and non-canon combined. I don't know why. This is so fucking cool. The purple is just so striking, you know? It's so matching his red coloration. It's insane. It's really cool. Metal knuckles, carbon fiber socks. I'm assuming his shoes are because are made of metal. He won't get infected from those, right? Sanity 2, health 2. Co-leader of the survivors with Amy, leader of the melters, which I guess in this case would be the executioners, leads many of the most excursions out, half unregistered, stressed out between Rouge's sudden sickness and response. Rouge is sick?
means that he leads the team when they go out to search for
Wait,
or
what?
take
I thought Rouge was fine. We just
out
saw her a
infected.
couple
And
panels
more
ago.
surprised is while I am happy to see Knuckles playing a bigger role in this AU, I hate that he seems to have to take a lot of the dirty work on his own
Yeah.
shoulders. We can see how it has like affected his
Yeah,
mind.
it's
And if we look
genuinely
here, we
took some
also see that
toll
he's
on
lost
him.
an arm already. We also have the stat sheet for Whisper here, and the first thing that stood out with me
Oh
is that
damn.
she is really close to losing her mind. Now that
Whisper's
she's
even
lost
worse
Tangle, she
off.
doesn't speak and she only really listens to Knuckles. And she sees all the infected as targets. And while she is a powerful ally, I have a feeling that she will become a liability at some point. After that, we
Wait, hold
see
on. I haven't
ally. I
really
have a feeling that
properly read the stat sheet. Cut her hair short, of course. Classic female character development. Hasn't spoken once since Tangled has gone. Damn, that was a long while ago. Never takes mask off. I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. A mask will still protect you in some way, shape, or form against the infection. Only listens to Knuckles, command apart the melters, forces Wispins to listen to her even if they don't want to. Nothing but targets.
she will become a
Damn.
liability at some point. After that, we
Damn.
see Metal, and I'm actually really
Amy.
happy to see that he's still around because with
Hold on. I gotta
at
see
some
this.
point. After that,
Oh damn. Amy doodles on him sometimes. There's a heart on him. I guess with Sonic not around anymore, he's he's good enough. He's close enough, you know. Metal Sonic is good enough. Uh, oh, by the way, guys, thanks for tuning in on the live stream. I really appreciated it. Please drop a like and a subscribe if y'all are liking the video live stream so far. And yeah, I really appreciate it. Taps into Tails' dolls to it'll help locate problematic infected. I guess those are like comms. Status: he's immune. Obviously, he's already a robot. Has been docile since Eggman ordered him to be. Been sticking around Tails a little too much. Why is that? Okay, this might have been written by Eggman. Been helping Silver fight any infected off due to immunity. Wait, hold on. Is Silver also immune?
we see Metal,
If
and I'm
that's the
actually
case, that
really
is a
happy to see
huge boon because Silver has got to be like top 5 strongest characters in the verse, right? Like along with Sonic, um, Knuckles, and
that he's still around because with both Sonic and Shadow
yeah,
infected,
Shadow.
the team
Fuck, I
really needs
forgot
a bit
Shadow's
of
name.
like replacement muscle. And since he is obviously immune to the virus, he may be one of the more valuable characters in this
You know,
AU
the
right.
fact that he has sanity implies that Metal Sonic is definitely still capable of that. He's still
Now.
a person.
We also see him holding this doll here, and apparently the team has set up these dolls around the
Wait,
area so
hold on.
that they
Aren't these dolls like what was it called again? They were I think they were part of a horror film, right? Like a horror.
act as surveillance cameras. And this
I
is
can't remember.
basically how the team is able to track
Prepared
infected
with
and take
leftover
them out so quickly.
badness.
Next, we get to see Silver, and he is running
Yeah,
himself
that's what I thought.
ragged.
Silver is immune. Left eye is entirely blind and unusable. I thought it was just gone. Smells like rust, blood, and
Since he's
medicine.
immune, he has taken it on
Almost died
himself to
once from a
almost always be
severe
out.
gash across his chest. I'm assuming that's this right here. Uh, Due to immunity, Silver acts as their main line of defense against zombots. Obviously, if you're immune, you gotta be manning those machine guns. Almost always on field, takes SPO and Metal Sonic with. Doesn't want supplies wasted on him. My only purpose. His health is absolutely shit right now, but his powers maxed out, right? He might be able to go toe to toe with infected stage 3 Sonic. His
Out in the
sanity is
field
low
fighting
too, but
infected. And while he takes SBO and Metal with him sometimes, he is still taking some deep wounds. The
yeah.
most notable one being the gash in his chest that almost ended his life, and also the loss of his eye here. While his power and smart stats are still really high, we can see that he isn't doing very well mentally and is even worse off physically. After that, we get to see the Chaotix team sheets, starting with SBO, who we already seen is clean of the infection. He seems to be acting as like the caregiver of the team now,
Hold
making
on, hold
sure
on, hold on. Hold on. Hyde's face. Okay, Bracelet. Remember Charmy? Obviously considered mother head of the group. Head mother hen of the group. Hold on. You see these crossed out lines right
everybody
here? Crossed
has
out
enough food.
circles. Hold on.
He seems to be acting
Hold on.
as like the caregiver of the team now.
Right here. You see these crossed out circles? This must be because he saw He saw Knuckles burn. Was it again Charmy? Alive. I guess infected. Right. He took out Charmy, burnt him to a crisp. He saw that, and now his sanity dropped by a whole 2 points. That's insane. Acts as a scout due to invisibility ability, avoiding Knuckles actively. Oh, I might be. We might be seeing some inside strife. Tries to ensure everyone eats and stays alive. He was just a kid. That's why his sanity dropped because he saw Knuckles burn Charmy. I wouldn't say alive, but like still, damn.
making sure everybody has
Power
enough
three,
food,
smart
and he's
spot.
also the scout, which
That's
makes
good. That's
sense
good.
considering that he has the ability to turn invisible. He
Yeah.
has a bracelet on his wrist here to remember both Charmy and Vector. And it seems like the loss of his friends has taken a toll on his sanity, which is why he has gone from 4 to 2. We finally get to see what happened to Charmy as well,
Oh,
and while we knew that he was infected,
no fucking wonder Knuckles burned his ass down. Honestly, if I was Knuckles, I would have burned his ass extra crispy. Yo, bro, bro. SPO, that is no longer your friend. Yeah, the statement "he was just a kid" no longer applies here. That is no longer a person. That is an it at that point. Face no longer exists in stage 3. Stage 4. If I remember correctly, stage 4 is incurable, right? Able to keep himself in the air, dangerous to SPO, able to detect him even when invisible. Damn, about ready to transition into stage 5. Damn, that's a good thing that Knuckles burnt his ass to the ground. Then, right? If he was a danger to SPO, which is the scout of the entire group, it is a good thing that Knuckles burnt his ass to a crisp. It is sad though that SPO had to see it and is now actively dodging Knuckles.
we didn't know that he was already at stage 4. We learned that SPO is lucky that Knuckles found him first because Charmy has the ability to see SPO even when he's invisible, likely because of how much they have worked together in the past. And if all that wasn't bad enough, infected Charmy also still had the ability to fly, so Knuckles
Yo,
really had
guys,
no
please
choice
comment
but to put
down
the
in the
little guy
comment
down.
section
And then we get
literally
to see
anything.
Vector, who is
This
at
will help me in the algorithm. Please,
the third stage of the
Jocelyn and
infection, and
else.
he has been described as the most dangerous Zombot ever. And this is likely due to the fact that Vector was already super strong before he got infected. Now, though, he can destroy pretty much anything he can get his claws
Damn.
or
Even more dangerous than a Sonic. He Vector is even more dangerous than an infected Sonic. Wow, that's insane actually. With pure brute strength alone? Yeah.
jaws on.
Please
This is
comment
also
down in
why
the
his
comment
power
section
stat is off
anything.
the charts here.
Smarts? He still has smart. Yo, this guy can still think? This guy can still think? After what? Stage 3. He can still think. If I remember correctly, Sonic couldn't even think at that point.
Described as the
You'll be dead long before you get infected. Can snap almost anything in half with jaws and claws. I mean, yeah, obviously. Look at that thing. That's
most dangerous
oh god,
Zombot
she's
ever,
dead.
and this is likely due to the fact
Oop.
that Vector was already super strong before he got infected. This is also why his power stat is off the charts here. Next, we get to see Rouge, and I'm happy to see that she's still cleaning the virus.
Is Rouge pregnant? Jacket closed. Oh, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see the 5 months long. I was too focused on her belly. Holy shit, Rouge is pregnant. Jacket closed most of the time. 5 months along. Damn. Uh, hopefully Rouge doesn't pull. I got infected whilst pregnant, and now my baby is also a fucking zombie. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Forced to stay at base due to her illness, so she can watch over Cream and Gemerald. Only Amy, SPO, and Omega knows of her pregnancy. Damn, not. Oh wait, no. I was about to say not Shadow, but Shadow is infected. Has no idea how to tell Knuckles. So she tells him she's sick to avoid suspicion. Omega never leaves her. Why doesn't she tell Knuckles? Huh? Why does is it,
Especially considering that she is 5 months pregnant.
Was Knuckles the one who did it? Was Knuckles? It was Knuckles the lucky guy. Oh,
And for what I understand, Knuckles is
oh yeah.
the father, although he doesn't know that she's pregnant. He just thinks that she's been sick lately. The only people that seem to know right now are SBO, Amy, and Omega. And I find it kind of cute that Omega refuses to leave her side now, wanting to protect her. Although, since he is just a head,
Oh
that's going to
damn.
be pretty
Uh, cream paint Omega symbol. Y'all could not have scavenged around and made a better body for Omega. Like, look how they did my boy. Runs around base following Rouge, cause as he's not allowed on field or near Eggman. Keep
difficult
ducking
if
away
things will
from
really hit the
touching Rouge, which had to be put together using scraps after body got destroyed.
fan. And for people who may be wondering how he ended up like this, I believe this is a reference to what happened to him in the official Metal Virus comic. The infected Mobians basically ripped him apart because Omega refused to retreat. I think we can all agree that Omega definitely has his flaws, but one thing that you cannot say is that he ever backed down from a fight.
I don't want peace. I
He
want
wants
problems
that scrap,
always.
bro.
Now, back over in the comic, we see that Blaze has been brought to Sonic's dimension by the Soul Emeralds, although she doesn't seem to know how bad things are here at the moment. And as she's walking around this metallic forest, she sees a little metal flower and decides to pick it up, only to notice
Oh,
an
no, no, no,
infected
no, no.
looming above her.
No.
Although she really should have been looking behind her, because this monstrosity seems to have been stalking her through the woods. And while we don't know who this is for sure, we can assume that this
Oh,
is Vector because he is still at stage 3 and able to move around freely. When
holy
we get to
shit.
take a look at Blaze's stat sheet, we see that she is now considered to be missing. But the good news, to take a look at
Oh
Blaze's stat
no! Please, yo, Blaze, please don't be affected. So Emerald's call for her to go to Sonic's dimension. Why? Hopefully they didn't call her to Sonic's dimension just so she fucking dies or gets infected. Hello, Silver. Eyes glow from pyromancy. Status missing. Please don't tell me she's infected. Please. Tails made a specialized detector for Blaze to indicate her arrival if she ever came to their dimension. It only went off for a second. Okay, no. Hopefully this means that she got into their dimension, but then immediately left, right? Immediately skedaddled.
sheet, we see that she is now considered to be missing. But the good news here is that Tails' tracker was able to alert the team that Blaze arrived in their dimension, which may mean that they can actually save her before she's eaten or ripped apart. I also want to point out, though, that Blaze is very powerful in her own right, so there is a very good chance that she may be able to hold her own, but we'll have to wait and
Yeah,
see.
she's
After that,
pretty
we
strong.
finally get to see Eggman's stat sheet,
Yeah,
and the first thing that I
lost a lot of
noticed
weight.
is that my man has lost a ton of weight.
Yeah,
Apparently, he hasn't been eating as well as he used to, considering that food is way harder to find in this new world. And while he has been helping Tails and the crew, he also understands that everyone hates him because he is the person who created this
yeah, well,
virus, and
yeah,
as well as he
obviously.
used to,
I mean,
also understands
imagine you were in a zombie apocalypse, and the fucking scientist who made the zombie virus is just chilling with you, right? You- and that same virus wiped out your entire family. Everyone would be fucking pissed off.
food is way
Hold on,
harder
hold
to
on. Let's
find in
see
this
his
new
stat
world.
sheet.
And while he has
Always covered in oil and grime. Obviously, he's always working around, always
been
toiling
helping
around
Tails
with
and the
his
crew,
inventions. Lost a lot of weight, not allowed off Angel Island. I guess he is still kind of in custody. Been keeping the base functional, aiding Tails in creating a cure of sorts. Of sorts. Are they not like completely sure it's not a complete cure? Very well aware that everyone wants him dead, but knows they need him as much as he needs them. Due to creating the virus, he knows its origin. Very annoyed that Metal has been receptive to Tails and not him. Okay, I guess in this AU, Metal Sonic has been like warming up to Tails and has, I guess in this case, got kind of pissed off at Eggman.
he also understands that everyone hates him because he is the person who created this virus in the first place. But the heroes have to keep him around because he has too much knowledge that they can't afford to waste. And while his power is really low, all his other stats are really good. The last thing I want to point out here is that Metal has become closer with Tails than
He's
with
got me
Eggman
down in
since
the
the
comment
outbreak,
section.
which of
Literally
course has made
anything. It
Eggman
helps my
angry.
algorithm.
But based on this
And
comic
then
page here,
drop a like and a subscribe. Please. That's not me like telling you to do so. That's me begging you. Tails. Oh
I think it
damn.
makes sense. It seems that Tails is the person that actually repaired Metal and even gave him a voice box, treating him far more kindly than Eggman ever did. And for my people who
My.
are curious about what happened to Starline, my boy is literally a puddle. And we actually have a comic curious about what happened to Starline. My boy
Is infected stage question mark. Is this not even stage 5 anymore? Is this not even stage 5 anymore? Is this stage fuck it like 6?
is literally a puddle. And we actually have a comic to show what happened to him. Back when the virus was first created, Starline understood that Eggman didn't really have control of it, so he made a plan to actually put a stop to it before it got too far out of hand. He was going to release some creatures a part of a group called the Deadly Six, and the reason he wanted to work with them was because they have the ability to control metal. But before he could actually put his plan into motion, Eggman sent his 2 robots over to escort Starline out, saying that he was no longer useful. But this is where we see
Damn.
just how crazy Eggman is, because he didn't mean escort him out of the building, but rather escort him out of this life. And we see this when the robots throw Starline into a big batch of the virus, which explains why he is completely melted away. I know that
Damn.
he's not necessarily like a good character, but he was trying to do the right thing here. Next, we
I mean,
see
like
Cream, and
he
I'm
was
happy
at
to see that
least
she's
he at least understood that this shit was a massive threat to not only their enemies but to themselves, and he just got thrown into that shit.
still
Never leaves her side, makes sure she stays inside. Secret surveillance doll made by Tails. Ah, yay. Uninfected, kept in a chamber almost all the time, has little ideas of what's going on outside, has frequent nightmares about her mom. Uh, I guess her mom got infected. Grateful Rouge keeps her company, though she knows she doesn't want to be there.
safe, especially because we know these AUs do
Her
not spare the
sanity is pretty
children.
good
I mean,
with
just
her
in
health.
this one, we already seen what happened with Charmy. And
Damn.
even though she's locked up most of the time, at least she still has Jim to keep her company. It looks like he promised Vanilla that he would look after Cream after she ended up getting infected. And then we actually get to see Vanilla, who is
Oh,
already at the 4th stage.
damn.
Something that I find interesting, though, is that she is abnormal, just like Shadow. Even though she is at the 4th stage, she is not aggressive at all, but rather just follows survivors around and watches their
I
movements.
guess it's
The
her
only time
motherly
people actually
instincts
get
being
hurt by
stronger than the infection. I don't know, but she's hit stage 4 though. If I remember correctly, that's the incurable stage. Damn, that's sad. Head too heavy to support. I guess those long ass ears ain't doing her any favors. Also known as the Lurker, due to being one of the only non-aggressive zombots, simply follows any group of survivors watching. Oh damn, that's scary. It's surprisingly easy to accidentally walk into it.
her is when they accidentally walk into her, because even though she is 10 feet tall, she's surprisingly stealthy. In the next comic, we get to see Shadow
Thank
again, and
goodness
he is
they're
still wandering around aimlessly, but
she's
then he spots
docile.
Mighty. But instead of seeing the armadillo, he sees a young lady. More specifically, he sees Maria. And for those of you that may be confused by this, Maria, or aka Maria Robotnik,
Hmm.
was one of Shadow's best friends. And she was actually very sick
Is
as
that the
well,
reason
and
why
she
he's
ended
not
up
killing
passing
anyone?
away. But she was very important to Shadow, and probably the main reason that Shadow ended up becoming like a heroic character. He basically made a promise to her that he would do his best to protect the world. And this explains why Shadow is not attacking anyone. Every survivor that he sees reminds him of Maria, and he would never
Oh.
hurt Maria, so he just flies or runs away. And it's
Oh, that makes sense. I guess that it also helps the fact that the virus doesn't go past stage 1 for him, and in which case the stage 1 is the weaker stage of the virus, one of the weaker stages. So long
also
as
helps
it
us
doesn't go past like 3, he should be able to remain sane.
understand why he was screaming Maria's name here in the comic. I'm really hoping that this means that Shadow will be able to actually help the survivors at some point, because having an infected fighting on their side would be a big help.
Yeah,
After
you can't really get infected when you're already infected, you know.
that comic, we finally get to see Mighty and his crew's stat sheets. Since Tails is the person writing up these reports, he has Mighty labeled as missing at the
Missing.
moment, but at
Damn.
least we know that he's still alive, even though he is pretty beat up. I am a bit worried
Oh,
about the
he's
fact that he isn't seeing with Ray here. And based on his stat sheet, it looked like Ray had his wing ripped, which really increases the chances of him being caught by an infected character. We also have this original character that is traveling with the pair,
Oh
and
damn.
she seems to be
I
some kind of
forgot.
soldier. And just like the other two, she seems to be pretty beat up as well. In the
Orbit
next comic, we see
disappeared.
that the team has set off to find Blaze, and as Amy and Meadow are moving through the forest, they start to see evidence of a fight. The main clue being this
Important
flower
part.
with blood on it. And after a bit more searching, they
Oh
finally
no!
find Blaze, but she is now missing one of her arms, her leg, and maybe even an eye here. And while Amy thinks that Blaze has
Oh!
passed away, Meadow is able to detect a pulse, although it is faint. And knowing that she is alive, the pair hurry back to the base to get her some
Thank
medical attention
goodness.
ASAP. Now, even though Blaze got pretty beat up, she didn't go
She's
down without
missing
a
a leg too. She's missing a leg and an arm. Damn.
fight. She literally melted away the left side of Vector and forced him to run away before he could finish her off. While he still is very dangerous,
Wait,
he's
hold
way
on.
weaker than he was before.
I guess this means that the infected have a sort of survival instinct still baked into them. You know, they're still they were still once living entities. Survival instinct should still be part of that basic ass thinking. The fact that he ran away when his life was genuinely put in danger, I guess that means that instead of just turning them into genuine mindless killing machines, the infection instead turns them more into wild animals, wild beasts that really only hunger. They're like starving wild beasts,
In
but
the
they
next
do
panel, we get
still
to see
have the
fully what
ownership.
actually became of Blaze after her fight. And
Oh, damn. Hair had to be cut shorter. Of course, character development. Obviously, soul emeralds are stored in crystal on her forehead. Had to throw away her clothes due to being destroyed. Kept alive by the soul emerald repairing her deteriorated lungs. Damn, it's been more than a month, but she's stable. Okay, that's good. Silver has been home far more since her arrival. I guess taking care of her, checking on her signs. No words from her kingdom.
luckily, the Soul Emeralds were able to not only keep her alive, but also help regenerate some of her internal organs. This
Damn.
panel also
I guess
reveals
those
that
limbs aren't
9
coming
months have
back.
passed, and as far as we know, there's still no cure. One good thing that did come out of Blaze being attacked is that Silver has become a lot less reckless. One
No,
good
no,
thing that feels that 9
it doesn't say anywhere here whether she was infected or not, but we're just gonna assume since it's been months, she's definitely wait, hold on. More since it's been a month, she's definitely not infected since the infection only really takes about 5 to 10 minutes to take hold.
months have passed, and as far as we know, there's still no cure. One good thing that did come out of Blaze being attacked is that Silver has become a lot less reckless. Instead of always being out in the field trying to find infected to fight, he spends more time in the base looking over Blaze. We actually have a comic here that goes into a bit more detail as well. As you see here, Silver feels like it's his job to protect the future and his friends. And this is why he was so distraught when he found out
Respectable.
about Blaze. And even though people are trying to get him to stay calm, he ends up screaming, saying that he's going to take out whoever did this to her. Luckily, SBO is there to calm him down, and then we're left with this panel of Silver holding Blaze's hand, asking why he couldn't protect her. Which honestly
Damn.
kind of breaks my heart because I always forget just how young Silver really is. After that, we get to see a voice message from Infinite going out to the survivors.
Infinite is still alive.
You call them heroes, Sonic's friends, loyal, brave, righteous. But when the metal virus devours your homes, your families, where are they? Standing guard over him. Ivo Robotnik, the rod at the core of this apocalypse. He unleashed this plague of chrome and ruin, and they protect him.
Oh, they
They
made him.
speak of mercy, a second chance,
No, they're not.
as their world is stripped to lifeless metal. There is no valor in shielding a monster, no justice in letting the architect of extinction breathe while everything else turns to rust.
That's some big words,
These
Infinite.
are not heroes. They are cowards in capes, fools draped in old ideals, choking on the past while the future corrodes. Remember that when you're nothing but a statue of steel, screaming in silence, you won't be saved by the ones who let this happen.
So, in my opinion,
Nah.
his whole speech is basically meant to turn the rest of the survivors against Tails and the rest of the heroes. And I believe that he's trying to position himself and his crew
You talking mad shit, Infinite. You got fucking destroyed by a Whomper.
to be like the new hero
Was it a Whomper? Hold on. What was it? A Whomper? Was it a Whomper? Whomper. 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 Wait. No. Mario. Mario. I can't remember their names. Uh, Womp. Not a Whomper, a Womp. You got destroyed by a fucking Womp, Infinite. Don't be talking mad shit.
heroes of this world. And honestly, his speech was very good and kind of compelling,
Yeah.
especially the line where he says that there is no valor in shielding a monster, no justice in letting an architect of extinction breathe while everyone else turns to rust. And while I do think that Eggman is more valuable alive, I also understand that a lot of time has passed and neither of them, Tails or Eggman, have come up
In a situation like this, reasonably, the logical way of doing this should be to let him live until you've made the actual vaccine, the cure. Until then, though, you have to let him live, right? Like, he's too valuable alive than dead. It's only after you've cured the infection should you just off him, right? I'm not saying that he should be given a second chance. No, I absolutely think after this stunt, he has to be deleted from this existence.
with
He
any
has
real
to be.
solutions. So I wouldn't be surprised if the surviving Mobians turned their backs on the heroes, simply because Infinite is kind of giving them hope, even if it's false hope. After Infinite's speech, we get a look at his stat sheet and we learn that he's actually the leader of a group called Paradise. And just as he alludes to in his speech, he's basically telling people that he can protect them, bringing them safety and security, but I don't actually believe that he can protect anybody from this virus. I think it's much more likely that he's just trying to make Tails and the other heroes look bad. The last thing that I want to point out is that he seems to be hell bent on catching Shadow. And while we don't know why, I assume he wants to use him to find a cure since Shadow isn't
Oh,
acting
damn.
like the other infected. Other members of this Paradise group include Mimic, who is a interesting character because they are able to copy the physical appearance of any other character. He's also considered to be Infinite's right-hand man and manages most of Paradise's facilities. After that, we see this character named Ash, and what I find interesting is that they were seen earlier with Mighty. I think that she's infiltrated this Paradise group and is acting as like a foot soldier that she can get more information about them. The next character that we see is named Belle, and she is the person that actually is writing these stat sheets for Paradise.
Oh, hold on.
And if she looks familiar to you,
Is
it's
she a
because
robot?
she is the wooden doll that Mr. Tinker, or aka the good Eggman, created when he lost
Oh,
his memories for a time. It seems like after the outbreak, she ended up with this Paradise group by accident, and now they kind of put her to work as a maintenance worker. But she doesn't actually have any allegiance to these people and is simply trying to get in
I
touch
mean,
with the
I
hero
guess that makes sense. She wouldn't really want Eggman dead. I mean, by her, in her own mind, she wouldn't want Eggman dead. She doesn't have enough anger for him.
and more importantly, her dad, or aka Eggman. The sad part here, though, is that I don't think she knows that Eggman has gotten all his memories back yet and is no longer the
Yeah.
kind father that she once knew. We finally get some more information about Mighty and Ray, and it turns out that they are also here in Paradise, but not by choice, it would seem. It looks like Infinite and his crew rescued the pair at one point, but they haven't been treating them well. Mighty has basically become Infinite's personal enforcer, getting rid of anybody who disobeys him. And if
Man,
Mighty
that
doesn't
sounds like a
listen, they will
regime right
punish
there.
Ray. The only good news is that it looks like Ray and Belle have kind of linked up and become friends, so they're able to keep each other strong. And they also have a couple of these little wisps that keep them company as well. I really feel bad for these two, especially because when you think about it, Belle is only like 1 to 2 years old at this point, and Ray is only 13. In the next comment, we get to see SBO's perspective,
Goodbye
starting
to your
from the day that he actually followed Knuckles and Whisper out into the forest. The first thing we see is Knuckles giving orders to Jet to scout around the sanctuary. And I'm happy to see that at least one member of the Babylon Rogues are still alive because, let's be honest, these guys really came in clutch in the original Metal Virus series. The comic also shows Rouge, and I don't know how Knuckles doesn't see that she's
Yeah,
pregnant.
bro, there's a massive bulge right there. Either she's hiding a fucking melon under there or she's pregnant, bro. It is not rocket science.
It actually looks like
I,
my
I
girl is
know
smuggling a water.
I know Knuckles isn't the smartest bunch in the group. He's not the brightest bunch in the group, but like Really, Knuckles? You can't tell that she's pregnant? Like, really?
Watermelon under that coat. Luckily, though, Knuckles is at least aware
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Y'all have to see this. Y'all have to see this. Look at my cat. Look at my cat. Hold on. Y'all won't be able to see it. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it. Please. Hold on. My cat has his tongue out. It's fucking hilarious. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna keep playing the bit. Oh, hey, no. Wait, hold on. Y'all have to. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, that's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh, he yawned. It's back in now. But
enough
holy
that
shit.
Rouge is sick and hasn't been moving like her normal self. So he forces her to stay in the base, stating that he can't lose her too. And after that scene, we get
I'll
to see the
post
stat
it.
sheet for
I'll,
Jet.
I'll post it on YouTube. I'll post it on YouTube. I swear I will. Holy shit. Yeah.
And I was actually really surprised to see that his overall stats are not great. His sanity is really low and he has resentment for the team housing Eggman. But after reading a little bit more, I understand why Jet is angry. The first thing is that Wave has disappeared, and if that wasn't bad enough,
Damn.
she had just proposed to him right before she vanished. Basically
Damn.
telling him that they have to act on their love now because there may never be another chance to do so. And this is why on her stat sheet, we can see her wearing this ring on her
We're gonna
wings.
see a zomba infected with a ring in their finger, and it's just gonna be sad.
And lastly, we get to see Storm, who was infected shortly
Damn,
after
look at this
Wave disappeared,
beefcake.
sacrificing himself so that Jet could escape the infection. And while this guy isn't necessarily very fast or strong, he has this high-pitched screech that is probably going to become a issue if left unchecked. Now, back over in the comic, we see that Knuckles and Whisper are back out in the field with Espio following them in stealth. The first thing that they see is Vanilla, but Knuckles doesn't seem to
Damn.
be worried about her because he knows that she doesn't actually attack anyone. Whisper, though, isn't hearing any of that, and the first thing that she does is prepare to take a shot at her. Knuckles has to physically grab the barrel of her sniper to get her to listen, saying that Vanilla is not a threat and that they need to focus on their real target. And even though SBO hears all this, he doesn't actually know what's about to happen next. But we know that he's about to witness one of his best friends face down a flamethrower. This is where the AU ends at the moment, and I'm excited to see where it goes from
Damn.
here.
That
I'm
was good though.
especially
That was
interested
good.
in seeing what is going to happen with Shadow and if Tails and Eggman will be able to come up with a cure. I'm predicting that before that can happen, the hero team is probably going to have to deal with people starting to turn their backs on them or betraying them due
Yeah.
to the fact that they are keeping Eggman around. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to go
Yeah, we definitely enjoyed this video. Shout out to Orcio for I can't pronounce that name. Orcio Course. Shout out to him. Uh, please consider dropping a like, watching this video, or watching his videos in general. He has a great channel, great videos, and yeah. If you guys like this stream, please consider dropping a like and a follow or a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, have a great day. I'm gonna be dropping that picture of my cat later, maybe. Yeah. Have a great day, guys. And ending stream right now. Right now. I said right now.